How have you been able to compartmentalize your time across all the businesses and still have time to go to the gym 10 times a day and spend time with the family?
Every hour is detailed what I'm going to do.
If someone's got for spare £500,000, what should they do with that money?
I would diversify because obviously I just concentrate on property. I don't know anything about stock shares, Bitcoin, thank God, cryptocurrency trading. So become a master of one, and then the profit from property, then you can be a bit more risky in terms of look at different shares and stuff. So when I set up Dental Property Club, loads of dentists goes, look at the car you drive, look at the house you live in. You can't have all those properties. The reason I have those properties is because I had that car and that house. They're expecting me to have a Lamborghini and a 7-bedroom house in Hertfordshire.
What's your view on success?
Work when you want, with who and when.
Dr. Harry Singh in the house.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Absolute pleasure to have you here.
Got strong house out there, been training.
Are you sponsored by Heel today?
And, typical Indian, I bought these rings and they gave you a free t-shirt. So I
You know
go,
what? Actually, I remember getting one of them. They fit really nicely, don't they?
yeah, they are. They're good. Even my wife goes, wow, what's happening to your body?
Danielle, you look really, really good.
Thank you.
From when I last saw you. Well, look, my recollection of all the businesses that you've ever had, like today, Botox trainer, aesthetic trainer, entrepreneur, dental property club, so property investment business, dentist, you're still registered dentist as well. You're lots of things. And I've seen your journey over the last 10, 20 years, and you're always moving at the speed of light.
Yeah.
And it's always inspired me as well. So I feel from many of the things that you do, you've got the same traits as the most successful people that I know, the speed at which you work, the information that you consume. And I just want to delve into that today.
Yeah.
So we can learn from you.
Perfect, yeah.
So tell us more about you. Like if I was to put something up in one word, it would be extremist.
Yeah.
And that's what I
My
like
wife
about
calls
you.
me a terrorist. I mean, yeah. I think it's my all or nothing personality. So whatever I do in life, whether it's fitness, business, and being a father, husband, I go to that extreme level there, just my personality trait there. So I can't do it half-hearted. So when I used to fall off the wagon with my health, I would have like 5 McDonald's for breakfast, etc., drink by lunchtime. So it's that extreme personality.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from my parents, a lot of like second generation. When my parents came from India, had 2 jobs, they was always working, never saw them. And that instilled in my mind, to be successful, you need to work hard. But then sometimes you can get burnt out as well there. So one of my mentors said to me, of course, Gary Vee always talks about hustle and grinding. Another one of my mentors goes, hustle is a season. Yeah, there'd be certain periods, like a Premiership footballer, have your season where you need to hustle, really be on it. Then they have an off season where they recover. And that's what I've been finding quite hard to do, is that you yourself, we were talking about it, recovery, because we always want to be engaged, because we've got so many opportunities, so much background, so much knowledge, we want to do everything. And then you've got to sometimes take a step back. And then my PT said to me, I was complaining to him last week, I go, look, I should have a 6-pack by now. And he goes, one word for you, grateful. Be grateful for look where you were a year ago, look what you see. But I am like you, we never look back. What we've achieved, we're always looking forward, going, okay, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
No, so I'm taking more time back to reflect and be more grateful.
Yeah, that's amazing. What I would really like to get out of this podcast is, because I know you personally and I've known you for so long, and there's probably people, when I meet people sometimes say, I didn't expect you to be this so down to earth. I think, why would I not be? So I bet lots of people have got so many different versions of you that they've seen online.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify it once and for all for who you actually are. Now, the Harry Singh that I know, he's got a big heart.
Yeah.
He wears his heart on his sleeve.
I'm going to say something else, big mom. That's bad. I forgot. I will call your iPod.
You wear your heart on your sleeve. So you give your all to people that you care about.
Yeah.
And you hold values around that quite high. So if there's any betrayal, you'll cut them out. Like you're black and white. There's no gray with you. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. And my parents are very religious, very simple. They were outcasted by their brothers and sisters, but they weren't as religious. And so they come from a very simple background. And that installed in me early on that it's not about money, it's not about possessions, because if you're about possessions, that's going to possess you. You're going to be after it. Now, I did have possessions, and then that's all I thought. And once you get the pause, and once you have the fly the first class and take a picture on Facebook. There you go. Is that it?
Yeah.
So they came from very simple, humble background. And they go, look, you don't know what someone's story is behind the scenes. They could be successful, could be obviously abused, could be trauma. So that's what I found, that I want, not simple life, but take people on face value. You see what you get. And sometimes it helps me, sometimes it doesn't. As you know, sometimes there's a lot of brown nose, arse licking, being like a politician and saying, and you know some of these people there where they look like best buddies on, I could open a page, I could talk about that person. They could be best buddies. Then when you have a private conversation where they're slating that person, go, why would you talk about that? And what I say is their belief values is built on sandcastle. So sandcastle looks really good, but then the next wave comes along, washes it away, then they'll get another sandcastle. So I never want to be that person, because I've had mentors that were ruthless, just used you for whatever. So yeah, what you see is what you get. So if you're an arsehole, I'll tell you. Even though you may make me £1 million, I'll tell you, and probably you wouldn't want to work with me, but I'd rather have that sleep at night under my £2 million mattress than your £1 million there. So it can, and especially young dentists, they feel like they have to be likable. They're going to have to like scratch people's back. I've never done that. The only thing I used to do is I was quite generous buying drinks for people at the bar when I used to drink. I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
And look at my accountant, go, 20 JDs and Coke. God, you need to see George Best, mate. There. So network people, you're the kind of people that want to work with you if you are yourself. And especially with young dentists, I know that's quite hard for them because they want to impress people there. So I've never tried to impress anyone. That's why I'm not in your book, mate. I'm only joking. But yeah, is what you get is what you see.
Yeah, I've experienced that. I've seen that with you as well. And sitting in on your talks. So I remember I was walking through one of the dental shows and it was an open forum, and I sat down and you were speaking, and I waved at you just to show you that, you know, like I'm here. And I was mind blown that you really didn't care about what you were saying.
Was it that bad?
No, in the sense that you were just being yourself. You know, we come up, we present a really polished version of ourselves in those settings. You're like, this is me. And I looked around, you dropped some like swear words and you said a few things, and everyone was loving it. They were laughing. And I'll be honest with you, because I wasn't speaking then, public speaking at all. And my first 2, 3 were terrible. But one thing I took away from your talks was like, just if you can make yourself laugh, the humor that you share is humor that you find funny, right? So I do the same thing. The things that I find funny, when I share it on stage and people laugh and they, you know, it's me, it comes across so much better than this perfect.
If you can take the piss out yourself, that's what people relate to. And obviously there'll be certain people that will go to other people, which is fine, because I wouldn't want them to come to me because we wouldn't have those values match. And it would be like tension, etc. Nothing wrong with their values, but it'd just be that tension.
And there was no moment of boredom. And I think you designed that. So I looked at your slides. You spent a lot of time on the slides. Now, I don't think you spent a lot of time that how can I make this look as good as possible, but it was more so how can the slides support me than me support the slides. And I love that. And I think subliminally that's been installed into me whenever I'm doing public speaking. So I never told you that before, so thank you for that.
Because I remember you were speaking at Sandeep's event, the Invisalign event in Birmingham, and then I was pissing myself laughing. You were talking about that shoulders, go, you got to point that arrow, redo websites because people don't, it's so obvious. And I go, this guy is so funny.
And that wasn't me once upon a time. So it was just be yourself. So that's something I've taken away from you, because you kind of don't care what people think of you.
I do and I don't. So a lot of people say, oh, you don't care. But actually, I do have like a soft center. Got haters like you have, but I do care what people do think of me. Even though I do come across like very confident, very sarcastic and stuff, but not care in terms of like, not I've insulted them or I've hurt them. That's in terms of, that's what I care about. I don't want to obviously come across that. But actually I do care, not as much as most people. Like my wife's the complete opposite to me. See, like, and my parents are exactly the same. They care what the community think first before deciding to do anything. Because like they said to me, you have to be a doctor dentist because it looks good in the community because I was good at science.
Yeah.
I said to my kids, I don't care what you do, F the community. Obviously, don't hurt them, but do what's best for you. So I don't care to that extent, but I do actually care what people think of me.
You do? Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So it
I
just
probably
goes to
hide
show,
it well.
it just goes to show that
Yeah.
you shouldn't just judge someone based on what you see, because you look like you've got really thick skin.
Yeah.
If you get all the aesthetic trainers, I'm picturing them in my mind now, the ones I can think of, they all could be in one room and they all fit in. And you come across very different to them because you're not trying to be, softly spoken and this, and it's this technique and it's my tech. You just, I've been to your courses,
Yeah.
you've asked me to speak sometimes, I've seen the way you train. You are one of those educators that lays everything out on the table, and you want that individual to leave with as much practical knowledge so they can go and implement. And I know you really care about that because the follow-up stuff that you do. That's the thing that I've seen. Obviously, I'm not practicing aesthetics, but when I've spoken at other courses, the vibe is very different. And I found that you attract people who really love that about you. Has that been your conscious strategy?
Yeah, it's my experience when I learned from other aesthetic trainers that there was minimal hands-on experience, minimal follow-up, and it was all ego-driven. It's all about them. Look how great I am. I can do this, I can do that, blah, blah, blah. And I go, who gives a F about what you can do? You're here to teach me. So I never ever wanted to do that when I ran my academy. And it was I had no intention to set up academy. When I gave up dentistry, it was to concentrate on property, do aesthetics a couple of days a week. And then loads of dentists started messaging together. How did he give up dentistry? And that's quite a shock. I didn't know so many dentists were like upset with dentistry because it looked all successful on their side. And they go, oh, can you teach us aesthetics? So I never wanted them to experience. I didn't want them to have the experience, okay, you did one course, but you have to come back on 200 other courses before you can become an expert. I wanted to give it all in one go so they don't have that experience so they can impact. Because if they implement, they tell more people, they become more successful. Because there was a scary stat in one of the insurance companies told me that 80% of dentists don't implement facial aesthetics after training.
Oh.
And I go, why the hell's that? It could be obviously some of it dentist's fault, but most of it's academy's fault. They only give you a little bit of information, or they make it hard, or they name a technique after them, framework that's so complicated that only they can do it, etc. I never ever wanted that. And then, yeah, we attract that kind like you do, attract a certain amount of people that you can have a joke with, fun with.
Yeah.
We have a lot of socials. We take them out for dinner. When I used to drink with them, but not anymore. Yeah. But the wildest ones are the older ladies that are not used to going out, and they just go mental away from their kids and the wife.
Yeah, the professionality is there. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And you bring lots of models to the course, but at the same time, you're making fun, learning fun.
Yeah, because that's how I used to learn the best, is if it's fun. And then we all been at university, lecturers are so boring. They know their stuff, know the content, but they can't teach it. So as well as knowing the content, you've got to be a teacher, educator. So that's why we talked about it. I went on so many American courses, Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson speaker courses. Obviously, they go a bit over the top because everyone's been abused or murdered or something. A sob story, start crying on stage before they tell you the stuff. Yeah. So they're a bit over the top, but I learned from outside the industry.
That's really interesting as well, because whenever I speak to you, you're catching a flight, you'd put up a picture before AI with you and Richard Branson in a pool together, which is a little...
Oh my God, I have so many haters, people saying, oh, that's photobombed and photoshopped and stuff. And then the next day I have to take a video of me and him in the golf caddy, him driving, because there were so many people that don't believe that you did it.
I mean, that must have been an amazing experience for you.
Yeah.
So you've invested in learning from outside of dentistry, and I'm a big champion for that, because I'm from outside of dentistry too initially, and I wanted to bring freshness into dentistry. Is what drew you to sort of leaving education within dentistry and just going abroad, perhaps?
Yeah, a couple of reasons. One, I'm always learning. I love reading books, love learning, and also you could use it as a business expense going to America, so that always helps. But everyone was copying everyone else there. So, for example, Ollie and I started doing Whitening Wednesdays, and this is back in 2000. Now everyone was doing Whitening Wednesdays. I didn't want to be in that situation where everyone copied everyone, because business is business. The more value you can add, the more money you're going to make. That's learned from America most of the time, but also within England, go to non-dental conferences. I still go to dental aesthetic ones, but learn to business. I go a lot of internet marketing courses, because they had to attract leads, because lead generation is same everywhere. So they like, okay, do a lead magnet. Obviously, this is about 10 years ago now, we know. Do a lead magnet and then get them in your funnel. So marketing business is business. So I just love learning. But also the second reason I go to these conferences, because we're so busy, you don't get that white space where you're just sitting down. And sometimes there may be a boring speaker or maybe a topic not relevant. I'm just sitting there now, oh my God, I get the best idea ever. And so my notepad, I have two, the front part of the notepad is the notes from the course, the lecture. The back part is all the ideas. And the best part is those ideas I get. And then a third reason is networking. I love networking. You can learn from everyone.
Yes.
So don't judge a book cover. Obviously, it was quite with Adam Sandler. I don't know if you saw that. Chanel, his daughter went to Chanel.
No.
So it was in the news yesterday.
Yeah.
So he went to Chanel just by herself, jogging bottoms. So he was looking at this £30,000 Chanel bag. They refused to serve her because they thought it's a normal child.
Right.
Like with the baggy clothes, tracksuit tops. He phoned her dad, Adam Sandler. He comes 10 minutes later. He buys about 300 grand's worth of bags. He goes, do not judge a person by their cover.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what you can learn from me. So I love networking. And what I've found is dentists are really bad at that. So when I used to do my lectures, they would never sit. There'd be a front row there. Someone would sit right at the back and they would never sit next to you. So you can learn. And it felt like there was a secret club. You couldn't share a secret. Go, you're based in Scotland. He's based in Wrexham. You're not going to affect each other. Just help each other there. So I was being that you can learn from each other. And sometimes I learn more from the other delegates when I go to these conferences than actual speakers.
That makes sense. And what are your working hours? I got this picture of you just always working.
It's good. It's how big believer in Tony Robbins, who goes, how you say stuff attached to. So working is like you hard work. So I say it's not working because I love what I do. So we talked about freedom before the podcast. Do what you want when you want there. So working, I'm always working there, but I don't feel like it's working because I could do it every single day. I even work on Christmas Day. The wife hates it, etc. Yeah. Like today, because I go cardio in the morning, weights in the evening. My daughter, because I was doing the podcast with you, I did the weights in the morning after the cardio. Had a haircut and shave to look good on the video. So that's why it is. It's like love what you do. That's why I gave up dentistry because I didn't enjoy it. A lot of lower back pain. And I think what happens with a lot of dentists is because they're used to that lifestyle, if they could earn the same money as dentistry by doing something else but maintain the lifestyle, they would do it within a second. But very hard to find another career or job that earns the same amount of money. So they're stuck with dentistry. So that's why they get burnt out and don't like it. But aesthetics, I do 2 days a week. Training 2 to 3 days a week. The rest is admin, business, market. But every single aspect I love. So I don't feel it's like working.
Side hustles in dentistry has become like a common thing now. It's spoken about, especially on Facebook forums. Lots of people speak about it and the other things that they're doing now. But I remember you being as perhaps one of the earliest people to speak about having a second source of income. Yeah. And I think that was Dental Property Club, right?
Yeah, perfect.
You were known for having built a really large a really large portfolio of properties, but using your dental income, I believe?
Yeah, because I hated dentistry so much. I knew I was going to stay with it for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yes.
So every single spare money I had, I invested in property. And the funniest thing was, when I set up Dental Property Club, loads of dentists goes, look at the car you drive, look at the house you live in. You can't have all those properties. I go, the reason I have those properties is because I had that car and that house. They were expecting me to have a Lamborghini and a 7-bedroom house in Hertfordshire, etc. I go, yeah, I've got a simple, nice house, nice car, but all my money goes into property.
And would you say that's been one of your most well thought out investment moves?
Yeah, definitely. Because and that kids 20 and 18 now, I say, look, first thing we're going to do when you get your first job, buy property, not to live in, because my wife won't let them leave house there. But yeah, invest in property because it's a slow burning process that it takes long term. So this is a problem with dentists. They want get rich quick schemes because they want the same income straight away. There could be high risk, but it's high reward. So slow and steady is a marathon, not a sprint. So property long term is the best generation.
With taxation being the way it is and property seeming like not as appealing as before, if someone's got for spare £500,000, what should they do with that money?
Give it to me and you. I'm a teacher.
What do you do with that money?
I will still do property because there's certain tax structures that make, if your average Joe blogs investing in property in your name, it's not worth it. You're going to be taxed on the mortgage interest and the income, rental income, etc. But if you've got clever tax structures, more commercial property, family office money, but I would diversify because obviously I just concentrate on property. I don't know anything about stock, shares, Bitcoin, thank God, cryptocurrency trading. So become a master of one, and then the profit from property, let's say it is property, profit from that, then you can be a bit more risky in terms of look at different shares and stuff. So I would say probably investing shares now in terms of we're talking about peptides, everyone's talking about longevity, people want to live longer, healthier lifestyle. Those kind of stocks are going to do really well, the big pharma companies. You can have a listen to another podcast to find out which big pharma companies, the paid version. Those are where I would invest because everyone wants to live longer. People got more disposable income at that age. And some of the stuff that I know and that we talked about is what's coming around the market is going to be amazing.
And I'm fascinated by your marketing knowledge. You've spoken on marketing. You even ran some marketing courses to support your attendees of your courses. And I've sat in one of the lectures, I remember it was a dentistry show, and you were speaking about marketing in such a simple way. And it was real practical stuff you can do. For example, you said birds of a feather flock together, do leaflet drops. And there's so many things that you said that are overlooked because people look at really clever funnels and clever paid ads and AI. But the foundations of success when it comes to marketing is quite basic, really, from what I remember from your talks. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, it's all about relationship marketing. So the reason I love talking about marketing is I found out it's not the best trainer, best clinician that wins. It's the best known trainer, the best known clinician. They could be average, but if they're the best known, that's, for example, Dr. Phil. He's not the best psychologist in the world. No way. But he is the best known, so he makes the most money there. So I learned you have to learn about marketing. And what I found with my delegates is they have to come on the hands-on training to get a certificate, but they think they know marketing or they don't need it. But it's relationship marketing. So I won't mention names. We talked about it before the podcast. They're opening a new private squat. They've got delays with CQC. So there's twiddling their thumbs. They've got 9 months. They've been fully kitted out, paying the lease on it, and no patient. I go, why don't you just put a QR code on the front door, say, every Wednesday morning, meet us at Costa Coffee for a free dental consultation. And they go, wow, why don't you think of that? Because you don't know what you don't know. So you can meet the patients in your local area face to face. The coffee shop people will get to know you. They'll start spreading the word. And then when you do open, you've got a full list of patients already. So it's all about local marketing, relationship building.
I'm a big believer in that. And I think Grant Cardone says this, the best known will eventually be the best.
Yeah.
And you with dentistry being a small family, sometimes I'll get messages from someone saying, look at her work. It's not even that good. It looks like Wrigley's showing them composites. But why is she so busy?
Yeah.
And it is about visibility. Firstly, everyone in your local area should know who you are. And you should focus on visibility. Being visible builds trust.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's one of the biggest foundations of growth. And that's what we focus on here.
Yeah. Well, I've got a t-shirt, because I know I go gym twice a day. It's got Harry Singh, Botox King. And it's got my QR code. Yeah. And I wear it to oh my God, the women that first I thought they were looking at my body. But they're looking at it now. I must have had about 12 patients a month come from that.
Look at that. No one's doing that.
It's so simple. 12 quid it costs, and I'll just wear it.
Quid. Yeah. How did you come up with that idea?
Now I was thinking, I just saw a plumber with his hoodie on in the morning doing cardio. I go, actually, I could make it branded, but make it quite funny. Yeah. And then one of my delegates started calling me Harry Singh Botox King.
Yeah.
And so I go, okay, let's make a t-shirt, make it funny, because that's what you got to do is, you do marketing, but if you blend in with everyone else, you're going to be lost in the noise. So something got to stand out, not be controversial, but it could be funny. Yeah. People, stop the scroll like a Bravo hook.
Yes.
They see it, they stop, and they go, okay, let me take a picture and stuff. And I did it when I was buying houses. I had a massive board on the side of my house. We buy houses for cash.
Oh.
I did it on my wife's car, and I didn't tell her. And then 2 days later, she took it off because he goes, I was at the school run and their parents were looking at me. Well, I bought about 5 houses. and they're probably worth about 2 million now.
Wow.
From a simple sign saying we buy houses. So you are a walking billboard, basically. You got advertised. So no one else is going to sell you apart from you. If you cannot sell yourself, why rely on website designers, SEO experts to sell you?
Yes. Kunal Patel from Love Teeth Dental, he does that very well in his area. So he's on the billboards, phone boxes. You go to the cinema, he's on after the credit, before the credits, local gym. Someone even commented that I live in that area. I'm really well aware of Love Teeth Dental. His opinion was that it's even too aggressive, but look at his growth. It's all been visibility, being present, being there.
Yeah, that's what Grant Cardone calls. He called it TOMA, T-O-M-A, top of mind awareness. So when they think of a dentist or they think of a trainer, they think of you because they've seen your message. And I'm sure you know the stat that we have to see the message like 8 times before we decide to buy. But the other, probably you're the expert on marketing, where people go wrong is their marketing is all about selling, but people are different buyers cycle. People might be not aware of you. They may be aware of the problem, but not the solution. They may be solution aware. And then you got to target each one. So the people that are not aware of you or have go, this is what a dentist can do to keep it very generic. There's people that are more talk about Invisalign, but where people go wrong, Tony Robbins talks about it. Let's say you had a talk at Wembley Stadium. For 30 seconds, you have to sell your service, like an elevator pitch, and you're going to talk about Invisalign. Only 3% of that audience are ready to buy. They're thinking of their teeth and they want Invisalign. That means 97% are not ready to buy. So what you're going to do with those 97%? Give them some educational material, keep on advertising, make sure you're visible.
That leads on nicely to my next question I've got for you. You've been creating content before content creation was even a buzzword. Is that really how you've been able to grow your brands? Just through pure putting out knowledge, education?
Value, as we say, giving public, selling private. And I never used to be like that. I used to be, because I'm quite impatient and I'm not a typical dentist. If I see something, I'll buy it straight away. And I'm quite shocked when I first started selling to dentists. I had one dentist goes, I've been following you for 10 years now, I decided to buy it. What the hell have you been doing for 10 years? Are you locked in a cave? And I'm sure you've had people come to you say,
all the time.
I've been following you. And I was quite shocked there because I'm not like that. If I wanted a website, I would go straight for it. If I wanted the same thing.
I don't understand either, but it's happening.
It's happening. So they are quite slow decision makers. So then we need to, we could do content for 1 year, but then next year they would have forgotten about you. And there was like, we were talking, like, I haven't done exhibition stands for 3 or 4 years now. And then you said to me, I was doing an exhibition. And I said, is Harry still around? Is this still training? Because if they don't see you at the exhibition every year, they go, you've disappeared. The people do have very short-term memories, and you've seen that as well.
To be honest, I really don't like doing exhibitions because the cost, the time, the energy. But this is what's happening. If you're not there, they think whatever they want to think. So it's not about ROI in that moment at all.
But that's where dentists go wrong. So they think like that, then they got to say, my patients are thinking like that as well. What do I need to do?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And how have you been able to compartmentalize your time across all the businesses and still have time to go to the gym 10 times a day and spend time with the family?
I must have been like a sergeant major in my previous life. I am like an army major, and my wife hates it. Even when we go on holiday, I go, every other, this will drive most people mad, every other is detailed what I'm going to do. So, Brendan Bouchard, I don't know if you know him, so he talks about, it's a bit like Eat That Frog. He goes, done by 1. So done by 1 o'clock is my most important task. So I only work probably 1 or 2 days a week clinic. The rest is what I want to do. So done by 1 is where I'll go to the gym, do my content, do my hardest task that's going to make the biggest difference to the business. Then in the afternoon, I am a morning person. I wake up 5:30, 6 to 1 o'clock is my best hours. In the afternoon, I used to be, but now I'm fitter, I'm not. That's when I'll do more mundane tasks. So I do allocate hour by hour what I'm going to be doing, and it works for me. Other people, so my Google Calendar, there will be, every hour will be penciled in what's going to do. Other people, like I met an author, a very creative guy, he goes, that would drive him mad. His Google Calendar is all white space, but that's how he works when the creative comes. So, loads of people have said to me, how come you can do anything? You're always working and stuff like that. you just got to be disciplined and also do the mundane task. People want the glory and the sexy stuff. The mundane task every day, being consistent. It's like going weights and gym. If you're consistent, trust the process, you'll get the results.
Well, whenever I've completed a mundane task that I've been putting off, I just feel so much lighter.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do mundane tasks because the other tasks, which just seem like you're going to get more serotonin from it, you jump into those. So I guess disciplines have been a big part of your journey.
Yeah.
But you also said when you fall off, like you're all or nothing.
Yeah.
The nothing part where you'll eat 5 burgers. Now, what's going through your mind? Because you're obviously an educated guy. You know that's not good for you. How do you go so deep when you fall off the bandwagon?
I think because you want to see progress. So if we're making progress, growing, we get motivated. So when I was on my weight loss journey, I get progress, and then maybe have a slight dip. And then because I don't see progress, I go, fuck's sake, my dip's gone, then I go really downhill. But obviously it's an emotional decision, but logically you should say, yeah, just have one day off, next day go back to it. But then because I'm not seeing that progress in a linear line, I get deflated, demotivated, maybe even a bit depressed.
Yeah.
Can't think another D. And then I just fall off the wagon. And I've always been like,
are you still like that, do you think?
Now, I think the health one now, I've been very consistent for the last 12, 15, probably 15, 16 months.
Okay.
So I don't think I'll go back to that. I think I'm one of those ex-smokers. I see someone eating a burger, go, that's disgusting. How can they eat that? But that was me a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's because I wasn't seeing progress, then you get demotivated. But motivation is like a shower. You've got to have it every day. Yeah. So I do have pictures of myself on my phone where I was before, and that keeps me motivated.
Wow. James Clear speaks about, James Clear of Atomic Habits. He speaks about habits and he says, okay, let's say you eat the chocolate bar. For me, it's like after 8, I can just finish the whole box in one go. Let's say you fall off once. He said, when you fall twice, that's when you start to go downhill.
Yeah. So that's a new habit you've created. Yeah.
That's new habit. So I'm always conscious of that. I don't think, oh God, I've done this now, it doesn't matter. I'll always remember him because I've heard him speak publicly that don't fall twice. That's when you break a habit. Forming a habit takes so much longer. Breaking a habit is like that. So I think that's what's happened with you, right?
And also it's identity. One, my PT says, okay, is who you become is going to dictate your standards. So he always used to say to me, when you open the fridge door, if you're a fat slob, what are you going to eat? That cake, that jalebia, laddus, etc., all the Indian diabetes.
Yeah.
If you open that fridge door and you're an Olympic athlete, what are you going to choose? And he goes, look at your identity. So who do you want to become? That dictates your standards, not the other way around where I'll go, okay, these are my standards, my habits. Then I'll become that person. Go be that person first. And then your habits and standards will be dictated by that.
Yeah. When I eat out with family sometimes and I'm just being a bit careful, not too much. They say, oh, just chill out, just live a little bit.
Well, my family say that all the time.
Yeah, and I explain to them that, look, when I'm speaking publicly or I'm in front of people, if I'm not feeling good, then I'm not going to perform well. So the only reason I love food, I love all these things, but it doesn't match with my identity.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to run courses and no one would say anything to me that you're overweight, but I knew I was carrying more weight than I was comfortable with, and I'd breathe in, and it was, I avoided stuff like that. I avoided public speaking. But I completely get the mental transformation you can get from having a physical transformation.
Yeah.
And that's what I see, because it's not like you're really trying your best to get a 6-pack to look good to impress other people. I think the byproduct of it is what you thrive on.
Yeah, the energy. Yeah, one is I've done it. I trust the process, because I talk about that with my delegates. I go, trust the process, the results will come. But I've always noticed I have the best energy, best focus, best sleep, and most importantly, as a byproduct, make the most money when I'm the healthiest, because I've got more energy. I can work longer hours. And also, we are a society that judges people. So if they see some fat slob, red face, drunk, speaking, goes, he can't be that successful, I'm not going to go to him. And unfortunately, people do look at appearance, do look at your energy. And one of my mentors always said, the person with the most energy always wins. So that's a byproduct of being healthy and successful and longevity.
One of my personal trainers, he's gone back to university to learn nutrition. And he said, Shaz, I couldn't believe it. We had to all take our tops off to do the caliper test because they're teaching us how to use the calipers to measure body fat. And he said, I'm looking at these other trainers. Now, obviously, I don't expect them to be cover models, but the amount of weight they were carrying, he said, most of my clients look better than them.
Yeah.
And how can you present yourself to be an expert in something when you physically are out of shape?
Yeah, we are judging people all the time. So that's, that's society we live in. So you do have to have a set image, standard, etc. So it's like you speaking at one of your events and wearing tracksuit hoodie, tracksuit bottom, baseball cap, people are going to judge you.
They will.
Yeah,
they will. Now, obviously, we've spoken about the inspiring stuff. Is there anything that's happened where you've had to go for a real struggle and come out the other side that you're comfortable sharing?
Yeah, it's probably, well, never comfortable sharing stuff, that kind of stuff. I'm not the best speaker. Like, I cannot say words that begin with R, like, for some reason. And then I was trying to work out what happened and go, 1 year, when I must have been about 7, 8, I was a mute. I did not speak for a whole year.
When?
When I was 7 years old.
Oh,
7, 8. And I've completely forgot about it. And I was at my parents' house about 3 or 4 years ago, and I go, my wife was playing a video, speaking, I go, I was so embarrassed about my voice and stuff. And they go, my mum said, did you know when you were 7, do you remember we used to take you to a speech therapist once a week? It was in Hitchin above the swimming pool, once a week, because you didn't speak for a year. And we were wasting our money because the speech therapist would try to get you to speak and I wouldn't speak. And then I started thinking, okay, did I have some kind of trauma that I didn't know about? And so I'm thinking of getting like regression therapy to go, something must have happened for me to all of a sudden not to speak for a year. And then I think subconsciously, then I've never been proud of my voice in terms of I hate listening to my voice messages.
Really?
Yeah. There's certain words I cannot say, like R words, etc. A bit like Jonathan Ross. And I say to people, like, if I can make it and I can speak on stage to thousands of people, you can do anything you want.
You know, I would have never known that about you, that you've got few perhaps insecurities or memories around that, because you just come across so confident. But that's been work in progress, I guess.
Yeah, work in progress. And then, as I said, I went on loads of presentation courses, speaking courses. I even had a speech therapist before I opened my last dental practice because I wanted to practice my consultation, get the words out. But yeah, it's only like 5, 6 years ago when my mum reminded, well, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
And go, I'm a shit speaker. But then she go, this is the reason.
Oh, and they don't know what happened either.
No. Well, they may do, but haven't told me. Yeah, stuff. Some kind of Indian Jimmy Savile or something there. But there must have been some, I want to go to regression therapy to find out, but then I don't want to go because then was there some kind of trauma for me not to speak for a year?
Yeah, ask ChatGPT. You know, I remember you wrote an article a few years back, which I loved. I asked you to send me a copy of it. It was fake gurus. You exposed fake gurus.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that in dentistry. Tell me more about that. I think that's a really hot topic as well.
Yeah, it came from my experience from a lot of American speakers. I love America. I love going there. But as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of sob stories. And some of it may be true, some of it may be fake. Then what I found was a lot of dentists said to me, oh, we listened to this life coach, personal coach. They were dentists, they're giving up. And I go, they are talking BS. They haven't got a clue. They've paid to be on the stage, etc. And because I give so much value, I don't want other people to be taken for a ride. And so there were so many. And I go, okay. And, you know, I'll say it straight. And I'll say it straight to their face. Go, you're a con artist, conpreneur, I think it's called.
A contrepreneur.
A contrepreneur, yeah. So told you I can't say the R. Yeah. And so I wanted to write an article. Obviously, the way the publishing houses are, it was a bit watered down.
Yeah.
I think they edited it about 5 times, etc. But just to educate people, because people are vulnerable, they're looking for help, and they think they're good guys like me and you. And I used to think like, yeah, everyone that's teaching or asking for money, coaching, they must be really good. And most of them are, but then some of them are coming to dentistry because they think they're easy picking. And I've been to so many non-dental events, and they say, okay, what do you do? I'm going to dentist. Go, yeah, they're easy pickings. They've got loads of money, but no brain. So they go, I don't know, there must be some other kind of course. They go pick on dentists.
Yeah.
There, because there's so many coming to the dental industry. And some of them, unfortunately, are ex-dentists.
There's a friend of mine who's invited to speak at an event. And he said, Shaz, what was happening in that room, I was not comfortable with at all. So another dentist was teaching something,
Okay.
and it was all vulnerable, like really nervous dentists who you won't see on social media, who are just there, someone's there believing in them, and they were just there to extract as much money as possible. This is what I was I was told. And I said, who was it? So he told me. And funnily enough, a few weeks later, that person reached out to me. He's like, Shaz, I'd love for you to come and speak. You've been so amazing. I've been admiring your work. And I thought, no, actually, I'd rather not.
And I've seen them in action. I mean, because we've gone to a lot of non-dental events, we can see the signs, telltale signs. And also, we don't take any BS. Like, we don't care how much money they give us. If it doesn't match our values or ethics, we're not going to work with them.
But dentists are afraid to talk about the negative experience.
I know. I cannot understand. Like, it's especially even facial aesthetics training. They go, oh, that trainer was shit. That trainer. Why are you not saying anything? I cannot believe it. But as you say, it's a small world, and everyone knows everyone. And I've known other trainers, other academies, where someone's written a bad Google review. Being honest, they phoned them up, goes, if you don't take it down, we're going to sue you.
Wow.
So maybe that is, especially on Facebook, they're scared of libel action or whatever.
So beyond facial aesthetics training, I know you do a lot of that. There's a lot of mentorship you offer around actually going and implementing your facial aesthetics business and the marketing around that. Would you say that's an equal part to the facial aesthetics training itself, actually implementing and practicing and marketing? Because I know a lot of dentists who've been on all kinds of training, and it's, with the industry booming, so many of them are not taking advantage of this education, because you can see more patients, less costs, repeat business. Why are more dentists not offering facial aesthetics at volume?
I think it's probably the 3 C's. It's not one of the C's you feel. So one is they're course junkies. And I was a course junkie when I went on Invisalign, implant training, you name it, veneers, etc. Second is what the second C is. The competence. They don't get enough hands-on training, so they don't feel comfortable. And then the third C is outside their comfort zone, because I've had so many dentists say, okay, we've learned about facial aesthetics. I've got to set up a whole new system, train the team, talk to my patients, and they may be offended. I'll just do another implant for $2,000. I go, but look at the profit margin, look at the cost of the implant, and you're not going to be doing that again for another 20, 25 years unless you're really crap at doing implants with facial aesthetics. But it comes down to marketing. Is you cannot just stick a poster up in your dental surgery, go facial aesthetics, and expect a flood of patients there. So you have to do, because it's elective treatment, no one needs it. You do have to do a lot more marketing. I think that's what they struggle with, is the marketing, but also offending patients. A lot of them are old school, where the patients maybe older market and say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Beauticians do that. You shouldn't be doing that. But it's the way you talk about it.
Actually, a dentist did say that to me. They don't want to upset our patient base by offering this.
They're going to be upset no matter what you do. So you might as well do something to upset them. There.
Very early on, you said you didn't buy the biggest house or a Lamborghini, but what's your view on success? Like, how do you measure success?
Success, I'd say, is work when you want, with who and when. So as I say, like today is my admin day, so I could go to a gym, do my weights instead of this evening, get a haircut, go for Nando's, etc. Cheap date, by the way. Ask for the bit speed when I go that far. I used to sell another website. And there, it's that flexibility. Last week I went to see my son in Nottingham at university as a surprise visit. We went to the gym together. So it's that freedom, I think you mentioned as well, freedom to do what you want, and not freedom to be lazy, because I still got that work ethic, but freedom to choose when I do. So when I do work, I'm grinding, I'm hustling. Like all day yesterday, Sunday, I was at the office, clinic by myself, just doing markets. I knew I was away on the weekend on another course, non-dental course, and I've got a busy week. So you are going to have seasons or periods where you're going to have to put your head down and do the work. But then there's other times when you can not relax, but do stuff you enjoy, even though I enjoy my work, where I can spend time with friends, family, or come with you. So you must have like so many dentists that you must have said and go, no, I'm too busy, I can't do it. Go, what kind of life is that?
Yeah.
You should never be too busy.
there is an anticlimax that comes from buying those shiny items. You said, you know, going on that first class trip, all these things feel nice, but there's an anticlimax. Like, is this all there is? But I personally thrive on having the freedom to be able to do all the things that are super important to me, for like family, charity, building Digimax, all that kind of stuff. For me, that is what I'm working towards. And I guess what you've said as well, that flexibility, like you're still working, but it's all on your terms and nothing's being compromised. Unless is something being compromised?
I used to talk about in dental public work-life balance. And actually, I don't believe that now.
Okay.
I don't think there is work-life balance. People that work-life balance are not successful. So it's like a football player, as we keep on saying. There are going to be seasons where you're going to have to hustle and grind. There are going to be off seasons where you can relax a bit more. But there is no work-life balance. And also, as you said, talking about possessions and stuff, and I was like that with alcohol. I didn't like it. We enjoyed drinking, but it's the feeling it gave me. So then I had to find something else. And the feeling now is I'm the only person in the gym that takes a notepad and I'll record every single set and weight I've done. Okay. These guys must have super memories. The other people, no one's recording, because then my next gym session, I have to be one more rep. So that's the feeling now I get. It wasn't the alcohol or the Porsche or the stuff, it's the feeling that I give you. So if you can find that feeling from work, charity, health, then you don't need all that, because it's all about feelings.
And there's a lot of Asians that say, oh, my dad or my mum were always working. I think you said that as well about your own parents. If I asked your children, what would they say?
I hope they say he's got the best jokes. They're inspirational. We did this 2 Christmases ago. We had it was New Year's Eve. We go, what do you most admire about that person and what would you want to change?
Okay.
So for me, mine was my work ethic. The gym, and also that he jokes and laughs with us. We can't take him seriously. What they also said on that is to spend more time with us.
Okay.
So that actually took, and I thought I was spending a lot of time with them, because obviously, but they won't say that now. They will say, don't spend any time with us, because they're obviously grown up. But spend it. So tell anyone that's a parent, get that exercise to do, because you don't know what they value, what they want there. And then with my wife, they said, don't be so strict, because she's like, I'm the like, whatever they want. I did them as quite chilled out. She's the strict, like the head off hit the house and stuff. And then she was taken aback, because you got to have some discipline, but they will tell you, especially when they're quite young, the kids, they will tell you, what do you most admire? What one thing you would change about me?
I love that. You know, I actually do that in a different way. I do it quite regularly. And when Helena's chilling and she's next to her, I say, oh, Helena, if I was to be a better dad, what things would I do differently? And the feedback's always been good so far. So she just says, nothing, Dad, you're perfect. But I don't take that for granted. I keep asking. I mean, I've only got the one, so it's a bit easier to do as you grow as a family.
It's amazing what they say and what they value and what they remember and stuff. So I don't regret not seeing my parents, because they had to do that to survive and stuff. And there was some time when I was younger where I didn't have a winter coat and everyone else was going skiing and winter coats. And the teacher told me off this in the 1980s, go, where's your coat? You're going to get a cold. I go, I'm not going to say it, or can't afford a coat and stuff there. But I think that drove me as well to be successful or work hard there. But I don't regret my parents working hard, because it matured and stuff. And also it's more grateful for what we achieving and receive now.
You're 1,000 miles an hour, and I've seen that with everything that you do, and you implement, you execute, which I find super inspiring, because I love being like that as well. Do you have any diagnosis of ADHD or any
My wife says I do, because I'm probably some OCD. I'm actually very OCD. I go to a restaurant, I'll move the knife and fork there and stuff. I'm very tidy. In certain parts, I'm tidy. And I cannot keep still.
Okay.
So I'm always moving about, and I get bored really easily. Apart from I'm listening to you talk, but when I go to lecture, I find it hard. Like 10 minutes is the maximum I can concentrate. So there must be some kind of...
But nothing that holds you back.
No.
Because I feel like a lot of people might be able to relate with some of the stuff that you say.
So a lot of this are very OCD in terms. Even my delegates go, like, they'll do a Botox injection, put the needle down, I'll quickly put it in the sharps bin and go, okay, give us a second, stuff there. So, but that makes us unique and stuff. And we find that most successful people, they're not perfect. There's some unique trait about them that's not normal in society.
If there's anything I've taken away from today, it's speed at which you work and
speed of decisions.
Decisions.
Yeah, some are going to go well, some are not. But I think Grant Cardone, the quicker you can make a decision, the better it's going to be. Yeah. So like when I ran the Berlin Marathon, I decided to run the marathon with Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
If he says.
Yeah.
So we decided to do a marathon. So I booked it. The next day I joined the running club. I bought new trainers, new running vests, had to shave my back, so it was embarrassed. But it's the decision you make and the action you take straight away.
So Harry, what's next for you now?
Working on a new project called Dentists Unchained. So with Dental Property Club and a lot of face aesthetics, a lot of dentists and dental professionals come to do face aesthetics because either they want to give up dentistry or dental hygiene. They're stressed, they've got back pain like I did, or they don't like their NHS, don't like their practice, or they don't want to be reliant on dentistry or dental hygiene because they're not getting any younger. So I'm launching this Dentist Unchained, launched it last week, good timing. And it's talking about different avenues you can do, because I've done so much. Obviously, I'm property investing, facial aesthetics. I've written a book, launched successful online digital programs and products. So it's not tied into property, but also a lot of it is mindset and identity, habits, because I've done a lot of work, personal development. And then you can choose the avenue that you can slowly progress, whether it's an online program, facial aesthetics, property, or writing a book or podcast.
So what is the medium? Is it webinars or?
It'd be an online program to begin with, and then we'll do some live coaching and teaching.
So you're stretching people's vision, expanding the vision, not saying property or whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, so unchained from dentistry. So that's why I call it Dentist Unchained. Actually, I need you to do the landing page. So, but yeah, it's different avenues, but also that the end part is obviously property or online programs, but you need to have the right mindset, the identity we've been talking about. So get your mindset, identity, all the ducks in a row before, and where people go wrong, they go straight for the facial aesthetics, the property investing, and they're not ready there. So, and the TR record talks about your money thermostat. You have a thermostat in the room, it'll change according to temperature. You have a money thermostat in your brain. So if you're not ready for it, identity, mindset, you'll hit a ceiling, you'll never grow past that ceiling.
So I guess Dentist Unchained is about achieving more freedom, which is what we've been speaking about.
Yeah. Not about making more money, it's making a more enjoyable way. You may make slightly less money, but you're not relying on dentistry. You can do what you want, your hobbies, pastimes.
Yeah. Harry, I was thinking to myself before you came on that, how am I going to hold my laughter? And how you're going to hold the swear words, but you've done really well today. You've done really well. So thank you so much for your time. It was an absolute pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for listening to Successful, Depth, Not Display. If today's conversation inspired you, please do subscribe and share with like-minded people. You can discover more about our guests on successful.dental. I'm Shaz Memon, and I'm passionate about helping practices rank organically on Google to attract high-intent patients. At Digimax, we use 20 years of proven SEO strategy rooted in patient psychology to make that happen. We're also known for our patient conversion machine websites, not just beautiful, but engineered to turn more visitors into patients, using everything we've learned over 2 decades. I'd also love to introduce you to Dental Bio. With Dental Bio, you can build your personal brand by sharing where you work, write blogs and articles, showcase your reviews, add links, your transformations, and more. Everything you need to build your personal LinkedIn Bio website all in one place. Get started for free. Just visit dental.bio. And if you'd like to support my charity powered by the incredible UK dental community, visit wellsonwheels.co.uk or search No Water Land on Prime Video or Apple TV to watch the documentary. I'm Shaz Memon. Until next time, remember, success isn't just a result, it's a feeling. It's fulfillment, contribution, growth, connection, and being true to yourself. Real success is lived from the inside out. For me, it's about depth, not display. Thank you.